A Wandering Mind by Maria Sandoval. Alzheimer's disease, the most common form of dementia. It is a severe neurodegenerative disorder that affects parts of the brain that control thought, memory, and language. In time, the symptoms can progress to the point of a person having the inability to engage in daily activities. It also has become a major burden in medical, social, and economical areas for both patient and caregiver. In one of my articles called Altered Basal Forebrain Functions During Whole Brain Network Activity at Pre- and Early Plaque Stages of Alzheimer's Disease in TGF344 AD rats. The purpose of this study was to demonstrate if there is a correlation between plaque buildup in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease that is caused by synaptic disturbances using animal subjects. Alzheimer's disease is characterized by a progressive accumulation of two toxic proteins, amyloid beta and hypoprosylated HARU, or PTAU, including neurological loss, cognitive impairment, and dementia. It was hypothesized that at the early stages of Alzheimer's disease pathology, the buildup of amyloid beta triggers the formation of PTAU and neurodegeneration. Soluble monomeric and oligomeric amyloid beta have demonstrated to be a neurotoxic to cholinergic neurons originating from the basal forebrain, BFB, using the BFB to be affected in early stages of Alzheimer's disease. The findings of this research can provide insights into the synaptic changes in the brain due to the plaque buildup. It is an important biomarker that can possibly aid the early detection and possibly early interventions for Alzheimer's disease. Neurotransmitters work at the pre- and postsynaptic gaps that work to deliver messages throughout your whole body coming from the brain. If there is a disruption in these functions, clearly there will be a change to the person, whether it be from memory or from physical functioning and communication. In the study, rats were used as subjects to perform these studies. A RSfMRI, which stands for resting state fMRI, was used on rats. Pre-plaque stages of models were found at 4 and 6 months of age in these rats. The results provided insights into macro-scale changes in network functions of Alzheimer's pre-plaque and early plaque stages that were thought to be caused by altered BFB functions. A second article that I read is called Regional Cerebral Blood Flow Correlations with Neuropsychiatric Symptom Domains in Early Alzheimer's Disease. The main objective of this study was to research the association between regional cerebral blood flow and neuropsychiatric symptoms in early Alzheimer's disease. The aim was to demonstrate how they share a demise across brain domains. The research wanted to demonstrate how neuropsychiatric symptoms can alert to early Alzheimer's disease. A single photo emission computerized tomography machine was used in this research. This research shows portions of gray matter and white matter that are altered due to cerebral blood flow restrictions that cause areas of the brain to die and alter a person's behavior and memory. Domains of the brain responsible for psychosis, agitation, aggression showed positive correlations with regional cerebral blood flow. Another article that was really interesting was combining drug and music therapy in patients with moderate Alzheimer's disease. The study was to see if combining active music therapy and drug therapy in patients with Alzheimer's disease will have any kind of impact on their communication. Patients were given stable doses of metamine and acetylchloroxate inhibitors in combination with active music therapy to see if their ability to communicate will improve. Clearly, there was a significant finding there were significant findings and positive effects of active music therapy in combination with the medication therapy opposed to the patients that did not receive both medication and music therapy. The findings in this research demonstrated how the brain can be stimulated through neuroplasticity and how the brain can be enriched to create new pathways. Correlation of apathy with clinical symptoms of Alzheimer's disease with olfactory dysfunction. A cross-sectional study was the last article that I read. And it was very interesting, although there was some portions that I didn't really understand. But the main objective to this research study was aimed to demonstrate how olfactory dysfunction and apathy can be an early sign of Alzheimer's disease. Apathy is characterized by the lack of motivation and decreased initiative and emotional indifference. There were no significant differences in olfactory functions found in this study, although there was a correlation implied with apathy and was negatively correlated with olfactory dysfunctions. The study demonstrated how the olfactory system is connected with the brain in ways that some people find hard to believe. When there are changes in the olfactory system, parts of the brain can be changed and memory recall can be disturbed. It was interesting to see how smell can trigger memory recall. These are some of my references that I used for my 4 articles. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that this was informative.